window to rising India. India's voice on global platform.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in 20th episode of Mann Ki Baat 2 program. Monthly radio program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan. It's also the first episode of the new year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address 125th anniversary celebrations of Prabuddha Bharata Journal started by Swami Vivekananda in 1896. Prabuddha Bharata has been an important medium to spread message of India's ancient spiritual wisdom. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting releases detailed SOP for cinema halls and theatres. All cinema houses to now operate with 100% capacity. Theatres to ensure staggered show timings to avoid crowding, frequent sanitization and follow all COVID prevention protocols. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses all-party meeting of budget session of Parliament, assures of approaching farmer issue with an open mind, reinforces centre stand announced on 22nd January, says Agriculture Minister is just a phone call away for taking forward talks. As many as 84 people arrested and 38 FIRs registered so far in connection with violence that broke out during the farmers' tractor rally on Republic Day. PM Modi says law will take its own course. Forensic team collects evidence from Red Fort premises, epicenter of the January 26th violence. India's total active caseload shrinks to less than 1,70,000. Recovery rate reaches 97%. Health Secretary reviews status of COVID vaccination, urges states to increase coverage of beneficiaries. More than 37 lakh healthcare workers vaccinated till now. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma in our top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in India and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat broadcast on All India Radio in a short while from now. This is the 20th episode of Mann Ki Baat 2. It's also the first episode of the new year and will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and also on the All India Radio News website and News on Air mobile app. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of All India Radio, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. All India Radio will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi version. The regional language versions will be repeated at 8 in the evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 125th anniversary celebrations of Prabuddha Bharata today. The event is being organized by Advaita Ashram, Mayavati. Prabuddha Bharata is a special journal closely associated with Swami Vivekananda himself. It is a monthly journal of the Ramakrishna order started by Swami Vivekananda in 1896. Prabuddha Bharata has been an important medium for spreading the message of India's ancient spiritual wisdom. The publication of the journal began from Chennai in 1896 and continued to be published there for 2 years, following which it started getting published from Almora in Uttarakhand. Later on in April 1899, the place of publication shifted to Advaita Ashram and has since then been based out from there. Some of the greatest personalities have left their imprint on the pages of Prabuddha Bharata through their writings on Indian culture, spirituality, philosophy, history, psychology, art and other social issues. Luminaries like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Sister Nivedita Sri Aurobindo, former President Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, among others, have contributed to the journal over the years. The Advaita Ashram is working towards making the entire Prabuddha Bharata archive available online on its website. And the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has released standard operating procedures for cinema halls and theatres on preventive measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar informed that cinema halls in the country will be allowed to operate with 100% capacity starting from February. He said cinema halls have been asked to encourage online ticket bookings to ensure contactless bookings. The I&B minister also said that all COVID-related protocols will be followed. Sufficient gap between two shows should also be ensured to maintain proper sanitization and hygiene standards. Use of face masks, physical distancing, installation of Arogya Setu app will be mandatory. Staggered show timings to avoid crowding at any time will be ensured. Frequent sanitization of premises has also to be undertaken.
फरवरी में सारे सिनेमा हॉल्स में जितनी सीटें हैं 100% कैपेसिटी से सिनेमा हॉल खुल सकते हैं। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ऑनलाइन बुकिंग हो, यह हम एनकरेज करेंगे। दो शो के बीच में थोड़ा समय रहेगा ताकि भीड़, अचानक आने वाले और जाने वाली भीड़ एकदम ना हो। सैनिटाइजेशन और कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पूरा सावधानी बरतनी होगी, लेकिन वहाँ के स्टॉल से खरीद करके ग्राहक थिएटर में खाने की चीज़ें ले जा सकता है।
Speaking on multiple complaints against certain serials available on OTT platforms, Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting said that his ministry has received the complaints. Films and serials released on OTT platforms and digital newspapers don't come under the purview of the Press Council Act or Cable Television Network Regulation Act or the Censor Board, he said.
OTT पर चलने वाले कुछ सीरियल्स के बारे में बहुत सारी शिकायतें सभी वर्गों से आई है। उसका संज्ञान लिया है और जैसे आपको मालूम है, अभी तक ये आईटी कानून के दायरे में था और है, लेकिन अब जो न्यूज़ कंटेंट का पार्ट है, ओटीटी की फिल्में हो, ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर चलने वाले कार्यक्रम हो या डिजिटल न्यूज़पेपर्स हो, ना उनको प्रेस काउंसिल का कानून लगता था, न उनको केबल टेलीविज़न का कानून लगता था। तो अब एक सुचारू व्यवस्था जल्दी घोषित होगी कि उनका संचालन कैसे हो, इसके बारे में भी गाइडलाइंस आएगी।
And on Saturday, the Prime Minister addressed the all-party meeting on the budget session of Parliament and made the government stand clear on the farm laws. He said that the centre is inclined to continue with talks with farm leaders and discuss with an open mind. He also said that the government's proposal to farmers on the 3 agricultural laws still stands, which is that, as the centre had said earlier, offering to stay the implementation of the contentious laws for a period of 12 to 18 months in an attempt to break the deadlock. Here's more.
Government continues to reach out to the agitating farmers by keeping the option of engaging with the farmers on the 3 agricultural reform laws open. On Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the all-party meeting on the budget session of Parliament. The Prime Minister reiterated the government's stand on the farm laws, saying it's the same as it was on the 22nd of January and the proposal given by the Agriculture Minister still stands. Prime Minister assured that the government is approaching the issue of the farm laws with an open mind. PM Modi emphasized the Agriculture Minister is just a phone call away for taking forward the talks.
Whatever on that day, on the 11th negotiation, we had said that government is open for the discussion. With this message, that meeting was ended, and Honorable Agricultural Minister on that day, he has said that I am a phone call away from you. Whenever you give a call, I am ready for discussion. This is what Agricultural Minister has said. That Prime Minister has said whatever the Agricultural Minister has made the statement on that day, it stands good.
On references made by the leaders on the unfortunate incident on the 26th of January, the Prime Minister said that the law will take its own course. Prime Minister Modi said that the government is open to detailed discussion on issues raised by the leaders in the meeting. He reaffirmed the importance of smooth functioning of Parliament and comprehensive debates on the floor of the House. The Prime Minister added, it is for the bigger parties to ensure that Parliament functions smoothly so that there are no disruptions and thus the smaller parties are able to voice their views in Parliament.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि हम सब मिलके हम जो कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं उसके लिए सब मिलके प्रयास करना चाहिए। उसके लिए जो कुछ भी चर्चा आप करना चाहते हैं उसके लिए सरकार तैयार है, लेकिन आप बड़े पार्टी इंक्लूडिंग बीजेपी, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने शब्द इस्तेमाल किया इंक्लूडिंग बीजेपी, आप सब बड़े पार्टी को ये कहिए आप कृपया डिसरप्शन मत करिए।
छोटे जो पार्टीज ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग्स में योगदान किया था उनका आज एक मांग था कि उन्हें भी समय दिया जाए, सदन में चर्चा करने में उनको भी समय दिया जाए। समय की कमियां उनका होते हैं। तब प्रधानमंत्री जी को ये कहना है कि देखिए बड़ा पार्टी ज़्यादा समय ले लेते हैं, कभी होई हल्ला में बड़ा पार्टी को तो कोई नुकसान नहीं होते, और उसमें उन्हें एनडीए के भी नाम लिए, एनडीए भी है, दूसरे बड़ा पार्टी है।
Members cutting across party lines commended the Prime Minister on the successful launch of the world's largest vaccination drive. On Saturday, NDA allies also met to chalk out the agenda during the budget session of Parliament. On Sunday, Chairman of the Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu has called leaders from various political parties for a meeting. The budget session of Parliament commenced on the 29th of January and the first phase will last till the 11th of February. The general budget will be presented on the 1st of February by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. In the first phase, a motion is moved in both houses thanking the President for his address, and a broad debate and discussion on the presidential address as well as the general budget takes place. With Shailendra Mishra,
However, despite the Supreme Court's intervention in the government's reconciliatory initiatives in response, certain agitating farmer groups continue being adamant about demands. These agitations are taking a toll on local residents who showed their displeasure, clashing with protesters at the Singhu border. Security was consequently increased. Central paramilitary forces have been deployed, reinforcing Delhi police deployments. The Delhi police on Saturday said that it has so far registered 38 FIRs and arrested 84 people in connection with the tractor rally violence on the 26th of January. The development comes following the tractor rally on our 72nd Republic Day, which had turned violent when some protesters deviated from the pre-agreed routes. Protesters also breached barricades, clashing with police, in which over 400 police personnel were injured and 30 police vehicles were damaged. On Friday, Delhi police had issued an appeal in leading newspapers asking people to share any evidence or information about the violence. BJP National President JP Nadda is due to arrive in Puducherry today on the last leg of his 3-day visit to the south after completing his engagements in Tamil Nadu. He kicks off his trip to the Union Territory by garlanding a statue of nationalist poet Subramania Bharati at Rangapillai Street and then addressing a public meeting at the AFT grounds. He will also pay homage to late BJP MLA KG Shankar at Olyanpet before holding a meeting with the party's core committee in the Union Territory. Following this, he will hold a luncheon meeting with the BJP's alliance partners in Puducherry and is then slated to meet party office bearers right down to Mandal presidents and assembly election in charges in the region. He rounds off his trip with a visit to the Aurobindo Ashram before leaving for Delhi in the evening. BJP National President JP Nadda on Saturday declared that the party would continue its alliance with the ruling AIADMK in Tamil Nadu for the coming assembly polls. Addressing a public meeting in Madurai on Saturday evening, Nadda said the BJP and the ruling AIADMK in Tamil Nadu would travel together in the development journey of the state as well as the nation. He reiterated that the alliance between the two parties would be strengthened for the coming state elections. Highlighting the Modi government's role in developing Tamil Nadu, he said 5,42,048 crore rupees had been given to Tamil Nadu by the Finance Commission during its tenure. He urged the electorate of the state to join hands with the BJP to integrate it with the national mainstream.
That Bharatiya Janata Party has decided that in coming times in the elections, BJP along with All India Anna DMK and along with the like-minded parties will be going for the election.
The episode of disgruntled leaders of the Trinamool Congress deserting the party continues. 5 rebel TMC leaders joined the BJP yesterday in New Delhi after meeting BJP leader Amit Shah. The list includes former minister in the West Bengal government, Rajiv Banerjee, and 2 other sitting MLAs, Baishali Dalmia and Prabir Ghoshal. Apart from this, Bengali actor Rudranil Ghosh also joined the party. Shah expressed the hope that their induction will further strengthen the BJP's fight for a Sonar Bangla. This is being considered as another jolt to the ruling TMC in the poll-bound state.
বাংলার মানুষের উন্নয়ন স্তব্ধ হয়েছে। বাংলার মানুষের যে উন্নয়ন বিগত দিনে হয়েছে আরও উন্নয়ন হতে পারত যদি কেন্দ্রের সার্বিক সহযোগিতা থাকতো। এবং আজকে ওনাকে বলেছি, একদিকে ল অ্যান্ড অর্ডার সিচুয়েশন ঠিক করতে হবে, একদিকে মানুষের জীবনযাত্রা নিরাপত্তা দিতে হবে, মানুষের জীবনযাত্রার মান উন্নয়ন করতে হবে এবং সেইখান থেকে বলেছি যদি আগামী দিনে মাননীয় স্বরাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রী এবং সম্মানীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী নরেন্দ্র মোদীজির যদি আশীর্বাদ থাকে এবং বাংলায় আমরা চেষ্টা করছি যদি আগামী দিনে ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি ক্ষমতায় আসে তাহলে সাধারণ মানুষের বাংলার মানুষের উন্নয়নের স্বার্থে আমি ওনাকে বলেছি যে মানুষ হতাশায় ভুগছে, যুব ভাইরা কর্মসংস্থান পাচ্ছে না, তাদের জন্য এখানে ইন্ডাস্ট্রি নিয়ে আসতে হবে, তাদের জন্য কর্মসংস্থানের ব্যবস্থা করতে হবে এবং বাংলার সার্বিক মানুষের স্বার্থে আগামী দিনে বাংলার জন্য স্পেশাল প্যাকেজ চাই।
And BJP National General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya said the development of West Bengal is only possible under the governance of the BJP.
एहसास हो रहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ही प्रदेश का विकास कर सकती है और टीएमसी की सरकार ने छलावा किया है तो टीएमसी के कार्यकर्ता भी अपने आप को ठगा हुआ महसूस कर रहे हैं और जनता तो कर ही रही है। मुझे विश्वास है कि आने वाले समय में मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में पश्चिम बंगाल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी और एक सोनार बांग्ला का सपना जो स्वामी विवेकानंद ने, रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर ने देखा था, उसको सार्थक करने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में करेगी।
The Nepal government has allotted 679 megawatt Lower Arun hydroelectric project to Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam through competitive bidding. The Investment Board of Nepal, in its meeting chaired by Nepal's PM KP Sharma Oli, has awarded the project to SJVN. Nandlal Lal Sharma, Chairman and Managing Director SJVN, met Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli in Kathmandu. He has expressed his deepest gratitude to the Nepal Prime Minister and assured him that the project will be completed in a time-bound manner. The Lower Arun hydroelectric project is located in Sankhua Sabha and Bhojpur districts of Nepal. On completion, the 679 megawatt project will generate 3,561 million units of electricity per annum. The project will result in overall development and boost mutual economic growth in India and Nepal as well. And now we bring you all the data on on COVID as far as the nation is concerned, released by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. With the coronavirus situation steadily getting better and with a consistent rise in cumulative recoveries, India's recovery rate has improved further, reaching close to 97%. The recovery rate is one of the highest globally. As per latest data released by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, COVID-19 recovery rate has touched 96.99%. 13,965 COVID-19 patients recovered and were discharged in the past 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to 1,423,125. India's total active caseload has dropped to 1,68,784. The active caseload has dropped to 1.57% of India's total positive cases. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, a total of 19,65,88,372 samples have been tested for COVID-19 up to 29th January. Of these, 7,50,964 samples were tested yesterday. The government has said that more than 37 lakh frontline health workers have received the vaccination under the countrywide COVID-19 vaccination exercise till date. In the past 24 hours, more than 2,06,000 people were inoculated across 5,143 sessions. Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan on Saturday reviewed the status of COVID vaccination with states and union territories. During the meeting, he advised states and union territories to improve the percentage coverage of COVID vaccinated beneficiaries. He said there are many states and union territories that need to improve their performance. Bhushan pointed that there is huge scope for improvement in the number of average vaccinations per session. Elaborating on the global landmarks crossed by India, and he also underlined that India is the fastest country to reach not only the 1 million target but also 2 million and 3 million marks in COVID-19 vaccinations. The Health Secretary also pointed out that the COVID vaccine is available in sufficient quantities and technical glitches on COVID have now been resolved. States and union territories were advised to ensure that regular review meetings of the state, district and block task forces were held to assess the emerging challenges, understand the ground issues and promptly address them at the appropriate levels. They were also asked to take necessary steps to ensure that the vaccination certificates are issued to all vaccinated beneficiaries before they exit the session. Vaccination of the frontline workers will commence from the first week of February. The state and union territory health authorities were advised to undertake the necessary planning for ensuring smooth implementation of this phase. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Coming up next will be the Prime Minister's radio broadcast Mann Ki Baat. So stay tuned. Namaskar.